And we're back.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome back. This is to Area Nerdy 1, The Compound. Today we are having a special episode called We Just Found the Absolute Fucking Worst.
We kind of challenged each other because that's what bros do. There's nothing that's not a competition in this house, apparently.
They're in the compound, sir. We can't let them know this is actually a house.
Yeah.
Yeah. As we both take a moment to drink our beers. Yep, we chose a challenge, which was to find some of the worst the stream had to offer, Netflix and or other originals online, and we decided to watch them and talk about them and decide which one of us had it worse.
So, what was your process for finding these?
I just knew, like a mother knows.
You have like internal compass, like a homing pigeon that brings you to the shittiest films on Netflix, basically.
Absolutely. I have the uncanny ability to tell when things are going to be shitty or not, just like that. Of course, the picks I had were really easy to tell that they were going to be terrible. It was not even a hard decision to understand or like to comprehend how bad these were already. But yeah, I had some bad ones.
Yeah.
How about you? What was your process in finding yours?
I went on good old Google and I was like, worst movies on Netflix, and so these were the movies based on Rotten Tomatoes scores. So I had kind of a different experience probably than you did. So, but we'll get into that. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
Well, let's just say the names of our movies first.
Okay.
I'll go. The first one I watched was The Kissing Booth 3.
They squeezed a third movie out of that turd.
They squeezed a third movie out of it.
Oh,
yes. God. I do have interesting words about that. It's, if no one knows, it's about some of the most toxic relationships I've ever seen put to screen and then presenting it as cute.
The weird thing is they seem to know that. They know that it's a bad, toxic movie.
So, 100%. After the first movie dropped, they re-released a trailer cut up to make it seem like it was a horror movie, but using like scenes from the movie. So basically they knew this was bad after the first one, and then they put two more out because they knew these were just really shitty movies that people were going to watch anyway.
Yeah, so fans of this Netflix series You are going to like The Kissing Booth, but that wasn't the original intent.
Yeah, but they're going to like The Kissing Booth because they watched You and was like, I don't get it. Why do people hate this guy? Everything he's done is fine.
Joe's a catch. What are people talking about?
Yeah,
he's so good at following people too.
He's just like a little trail runner.
Yeah, all right. I came up with a little bit of a system here. Actually, I plagiarized Gary Gygax with this one. So here we have a Dungeons and Dragons alignment chart, which we all know and love, and so basically we're going to apply this to movies. So like, here's a couple examples. Okay,
exactly.
So like Lawful Good is just a good movie. It's good made. It's watchable. So something like that you're going to see, like, we're going to talk about this a little bit later, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It's a really good movie. It's really well made, and it's watchable from start to finish.
And and everything about it is just basically perfect.
Yeah. And then like going to the opposite side of the chart, the Chaotic Evil, just bad. Like there are bad movies that are unwatchable. So let's actually go up a little bit. Chaotic Good, bad movie, but
yeah, you can't unwrap the gift.
Let's go around the horn then. Okay, so bad movie, but it's watchable is Chaotic Good, and that would be something like Troll 2.
Really?
Like demonstrably a bad movie. Like it was, weirdly written and poorly shot, but it's got high watchability.
Have you watched it?
Oh, I've watched it multiple times.
Isn't it just basically a 2-hour-long music video for a more adult-ish kids bop?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. Are you thinking of Mac and Me?
No, I'm thinking of Troll 2. Oh, Troll 2! No, I was thinking of Trolls 2, like little trolls.
Right.
God damn it.
No, this is not Trolls 2 World Tour. This is Trolls 2.
Troll 2.
I said Trolls. It's Troll 2. Singular.
Fun fact, there's not a singular troll in that movie whatsoever. It's They're goblins.
Yeah, they're goblins. They're vegetarian goblins.
And-
This is the they're eating her. Then they're gonna eat me. Oh my god!
And then the scene where she seduces him with corn, and then he turns into corn. Or we don't know.
So-
nobody knew what was going on in that movie.
So apparently they the Italian couple that wrote and directed that movie, like the wife wrote it. She was like, I got inspired because all of her friends they all went vegan, like all of a sudden. She's like, what if like vampires were vegan, basically, and that's what started the whole thing.
I'm gonna date myself and you. Vegan vampire, isn't that Funicula?
Holy shit! You brought me back to the Scholastic Book Fair with that
that's
one.
Funicula, right?
I got that was the one book that put me over the top to get that personal pan pizza.
Wow, I never understood that book whatsoever. But whatever. What's the next on our alignment chart?
Okay, so going around the horn, let's go to Chaotic Evil. Like I said before, so this is a movie it's a bad movie. It's poorly made, poorly written, poorly shot, etc., and it's unwatchable. So you guys have probably never heard of this one, but this is a warning. This movie's called Fresh Meat.
It's either a warning or a suggestion to go and watch it.
So it's on YouTube, like it's just straight up on YouTube, and it stars Tamara Morrison, aka Jango Fett and Boba Fett, and he's great in whatever he does, but he freaking goes over the top Looney Tunes on this one. So it's a movie about a girl who comes home from school and finds that her family has decided to become cannibals.
This was like early 2000s. The sexual preferences of the young girl in question is like a main point of the movie.
Yeah,
it's really weird, and it's not clear of how old she is either.
So it it's
It's
I couldn't watch Star Wars for like 2 months after this because I was like, Tamara Morrison, I can't look at you for a while. Like it's not good.
Yeah.
So that's like a movie that you would see that's just terrible. It's just bad. All right, moving on. Lawful Evil. What did I have for Lawful Evil? I'm trying to figure that out. Where is it? Oh yeah, there it is. So that is.
All of our stuff moved around a little
Our
bit.
stuff moved around a little bit. Yeah, Tenet. So if you guys remember, Tenet came out. This was a super hyped Christopher Nolan movie. Christopher Nolan is great at shooting movies. It's a beautiful movie, but it's so hard to follow that it's essentially unwatchable.
I did watch it, and straight up, if you have to actually go back and rewatch a movie like 5 to 6 times in order to get it, you made a bad movie.
Yeah.
I mean, there is replay value for movies to see smaller details. Like a really good example of that would be Knives Out.
Yeah.
Going back and watching it and looking for clues and stuff. But Tenet, it just straight up doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
It has a really cool concept. It's actually kind of interesting, and it's like Jimmy said, it's really shot really well. It's a bad movie.
Yeah.
They try to be too smart.
I think this was a good selection for Lawful Evil. I'm like
That was perfect. That was absolutely perfect. A perfect choice, and that was all Jimmy right there.
That's right.
That was all Jimmy.
And Gary Gygax for giving us this rating system.
So Gary Gygax
what
for no reason.
I was like,
that was a lawful evil thing to say.
I guess. It's like, what was that? We were like, I'm pre-canceling Gary Gygax. The guy, I don't know what he's done, but he's done something. I'm getting on that.
I can feel it in me bones. This guy, he's my white whale. I will get him.
Did Gary Gygax wrong you in a previous life?
He knows what he did.
Is he your Dinkelberg?
No, he wishes he was my Dinkelberg. He's not even my white whale. He's my lemon grab.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right.
Lawful. What about lawful neutral? I always thought that was an interesting concept in Dungeons and Dragons. What did you pick?
Lawful neutral. I've got the Phantom Menace.
So
like it's a good movie, and it's bad, but in a good way. So it's not. Basically this entire middle row are like good, not great movies.
And also it's part of a great series,
which
is Star Wars, which elevates it. Like, are you like if it was its own movie, like it just was released as its own thing, it would be a all right or bad movie?
Yeah, if it wasn't a Star Wars movie, it would be a bad movie. Honestly.
A bad movie.
Yeah.
So because it's Star Wars, it's
except for maybe Darth Maul, but like that's just me. So why don't we jump? We came here to talk about the worst Netflix. Let's go into the worst Netflix.
Well,
Tell me about it.
You haven't told me your first movie yet.
Oh, so I watched. So I went on. I have freaking, list that's like, here are the worst movies on Netflix, and
Yeah.
I hopped on to True Memoirs of an International Assassin, starring Kevin James, and that was
Oh, Kevin James?
yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. All right. So
Uh-oh.
so this is interesting. This is why I'm saying that I probably had a different experience than you
Yeah.
because I watched. It has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, so I expected it to be
Yeah.
like abysmal, but I gave it a chaotic neutral. So like it wasn't like unlike Fresh Meat, like you could actually sit down and watch this movie from start to finish. It wasn't fantastic, but it had a beginning, a middle, and end. It was pretty uneven as far as like theming. Kevin James was honestly the best part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, Kevin James, like every once in a while, like a Melissa McCarthy movie, those movies are bad, but Melissa McCarthy is like the one good part.
It's like the charisma to elevate a bad scene in dialogue to at least passable.
Yeah, and if you guys remember, Kevin James was in a movie called Here Comes the Boom, where he fights MMA, and he's always been really, really acrobatic for a big guy, and he's very physical in this movie, and he's really good at it.
Well, he was also in King of Queens, so, and he has an amazing comedic timing, as it were.
Yeah.
I think,
as it were,
but I think people are kind of like shit on him because of his involvement in some like bad movies, what's that video game movie by Adam Sandler? Pixels.
Yeah.
Pixels and stuff.
Adam Sandler's had it rough, buddy.
Yeah, but he Fresh Cut Gems?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was...
He decided to make a foray into dramatic takes, but...
Yeah, but anyway, I'll go into my first movie.
Okay.
You can see both three. For anybody that wants to know, yes, I watched all three of them. Not back to back. I can't do that.
No one can do that.
No one can do that. So, before I go into my actual review of this movie, I want to talk about the first two. They're absolutely abysmal. They're horrible, horrible movies with horrible characters, horrible lessons, everything. The third one, I think, is the best out of all three.
The third one. Oh,
yeah.
But it's still not good, though, right?
It's still not good. So
where would you say it falls on the alignment chart?
It has to be, I would say, neutral evil.
Neutral evil? Okay.
Yes. Whereas the first two would have to just fall directly into chaotic evil.
Okay, so I was gonna put that right into chaotic evil. Bro.
Yeah. No, it's So basically, the plot is exactly the same. Elle, the main character, and her best friend. There's only one character I remembered.
Okay.
Like their name whatsoever. Like
it's not even a name. It's a letter.
Yeah, exactly. That's how easy it was.
They didn't even like deign to give her more than one syllable.
Exactly. So basically, these characters, Elle and her boyfriend and her best friend, are exhibiting all the most toxic traits of a friend or in a relationship, but they just continue to be in this, and at the very end, Elle and her boyfriend break up, which is what they should have done after the first, or at the very least the second movie. Which I do give them props for that. A worse writer and director would have had them stay together,
right, or
something, and the guy who played her best friend, whenever he cries, it's just this ugly cry, and you're just like, this
actor is not there yet.
Yeah, he's not there yet, and Elle will do something that's like reasonable, like choose a college, and then he'll be like, "You're not going to college with me," and run off and cry, and I'm like, who does this?
Well, it seems like I have not watched these movies. I've actively avoided these movies, but like I've heard the chatter. I've heard the agents bring in the chatter around them.
Little birds.
So what it sounds like is basically it sounds a little bit like the first one was a one-off, but then they decide you can tell it's badly written and it's all about toxic people.
Yeah.
But then did they just decide to run with that for two more movies?
Yeah. So like the first movie it's really weird. It's like I thought it was going to go in an interesting direction. And both of these movies I picked, I thought they were going to go in more interesting directions, and they didn't. I thought they was going to exhibit the signs of a teen drama, falling in love and staying with love and stuff. But exhibiting somebody with absolute toxic behavior, you know, and showing the dangers of that under the veil of a preteen romance. And they didn't do that.
They made it a feature.
Yeah, they made it the feature. They made it the main feature. Like it's a known fact in this universe that Elle's boyfriend is physically violent with people all the time. Like he gets in multiple fights with people out of nowhere.
Has he ever been arrested?
No, he's rich and white, and he gets accepted into Harvard for poetry. I'm pretty sure. I don't know what his major is.
They would probably pick something like, I don't want to shit on anyone's like career choices and stuff, so I'm not even going to go there because, I'm here at Area Nerdy 1 locked in this bunker. Like, what are my career choices?
We haven't been allowed to see sun. Sometimes I draw a sunshine out of the dust on my walls.
Yeah, for some, like, Area Nerdy 1 doesn't sound fun. It sounds like a containment unit for the, what's
SCPs?
Yeah, SCP.
Maybe we're SCPs.
What if we gotta write that down.
What SCP-2245? Two weird nerdy dudes, just immortal nerdy dudes that talk about nerd culture.
SCC, like they have to podcast for eternity, or else a black hole will open up in the spot where they are. Don't steal that, TM.
Also, they have to be bad enough to not have viewers, but have just enough viewers to stay a little bit relevant.
We need to.
Let's do self-aware.
That's way too meta.
And if they ever find out that they are SCPs, the world will end.
Oh God, I mean it's really close to home, so
yeah, it really is. But this movie, I honestly, it's worth the watch just to see how to like not do romance movies. Like, if I would suggest like doing something for filmmaking, watch bad movies and see what not to do. Never like base your movies off of like Kubrick and like Spielberg movies. Watch bad movies and figure out what they did wrong.
So Netflix seems to have a problem with making shitty movies, but the thing is, they're just like their business model like doesn't work for like high end big budget stuff.
Yeah.
The business model seems to work really well for shitty bad movies because they can release as many shitty bad movies as they want, and then it's not going to matter.
Yeah.
Because their profit margins are the same.
But the thing is, they do have the capabilities of putting out really high quality stuff.
Yeah.
Like what is it, Old Guard?
Yeah.
Old Guard, The Dark Crystal. Just one season. This one season's enough at least.
Marco Polo. I'm trying to bring it back.
Daredevil.
Yeah.
Jessica Jones.
Oh yeah. Okay. So Netflix, you can do it.
You can do it. The Boss Baby. the TV series.
The Boss Baby TV's. That's got to be a trip.
Just getting absolutely blitzed.
Yeah.
Watching that.
So, you want me to tell you my second one?
Absolutely. Or no, you gotta tell me about your first one first. Oh yeah,
International Assassin.
Yeah,
it wasn't like 0%. I don't think, but yeah. So okay, on to the next one. So this one was another one on this list. It's like one of the worst movies of Netflix originals, and it again honestly wasn't that bad. I gave it a true neutral. It's the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon: Sword of Destiny, and it's the sequel to the original Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, which, as you can see, was lawful good.
So it's a downgrade. No matter
it's a major downgrade no matter what. And this, so honestly, it was an okay kung fu movie.
Not worth the hype and the expectations put on it from its predecessor.
So it's funny, actually. This movie came out in like, I want to say like 2010, 2011-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when Netflix was like just starting up like the, making its own content and stuff. And what they wanted to do was release it simultaneously in theaters and in on Netflix, and most of the theaters were like, no fucking way that's happening.
Yeah.
And then now, 10 years later, here we are having this freaking streaming versus theater wars.
Yeah, and theaters are actually making a comeback, quite a hard comeback.
Oh yeah,
it's interesting. It like out of the releases of these terrible movies, it seems like Netflix and streaming platforms are actually the ones hemorrhaging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where was I? Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon 2. What makes it a bad movie? First of all, it was just okay as far as story. It was pretty generic. So in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, the first one of the big points of the plot is the jade sword.
Yeah, the jade sword.
Yeah, so it's basically like this indestructible super sword.
Like its power is it just can't be broken. It's kind of like it's like flaring steel.
Yeah, and in that case, it was in the first one, which was a very well constructed story, very character driven. The sword itself became kind of a symbol for people's like empty quest for power, because like the sword was indestructible, but it's only as good as the person who is wielding it, basically. Mm-hmm. And they wove that into the story very well. Great movie, redefined freaking cinema forever. 100% great.
Probably
movie.
The best wushu movie besides House of a Thousand Daggers.
Yes, I'd say they're up there. I'd say like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon is the best wushu / kung fu movie ever made, except for maybe Ip Man. But
it's not really wushu is more of a martial arts movie. Wushu, I think, is more sprawling battles.
Yeah, I'd say Crouching Tiger it's first of all more famous, and it influenced the genre in filmmaking way more.
Right.
So, and then you compare that to the second one, which is basically like anything compared to that is going to be bad.
Right.
And so, but in the second movie, the sword is basically just the MacGuffin. Like this, generic warlord wants it, and that's what causes the action. And the fight scenes were good for a kung fu movie. It was okay for a sequel to a the kung fu movie. Not great. So here's what makes a good kung fu movie. A good kung fu movie is not only is the kung fu good, but if you took away the kung fu, it could stand on its own.
Right.
Such is the case with Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Not the case with this movie.
Damn.
Yep. So it's got Donnie Yen in it. It's got Michelle Yeoh. They're great in everything they do. Mm-hmm. They brought on some fresh faces and some younger talent for this. And like I said, the choreography is great. They did a decent job with the cinematography and the filming. But
how's the CGI? I saw one scene from that, like the beginning, where she's like going up the mountain. And it's just like the green screen background on the set, and I was just like, uh-oh.
CGI is not great. That's pretty standard when it comes to kung fu movies because they tend to churn them out a little bit more. You know what it reminded me more of? It reminded me more of a like an early 70s like Hong Kong Shaw Brothers type kung fu movie.
Yeah, but Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon made up for that by using its wire effects, especially like in the bamboo forest.
Yeah,
and so they didn't really rely on that. So,
they not only that they wove it in so well. So each fight not only it tells a story and it propels the story, and it's like it's basically dialogue. Whereas some other kung fu movies are basically just their porn movies to have in the kung fu is the sex. So that's kind of what
kung fu is. This write that down, people. Kung fu is the sex.
That's going on our t-shirts.
Just a picture of Jimmy's face. Kung fu is the sex. Area Nerdy 1, sex ed.
Yeah, we might have to trademark that. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. I'm actually writing that down right now. Kung fu is the sex.
All right. So those are my. So when I expect something to be a bad movie, I expect it to be, either I want it to be like Troll, where it's so bad it's good to watch. At least if something's chaotic evil, like Fresh Meat, then I can be like, I can like think about that and turn it over in my head. You know what? Another chaotic evil movie, super chaotic evil, The Lone Ranger.
Oh,
I've watched that thing from front to back the first time.
I was there. I was just like so confused as to why this was made in its entirety.
I know I brought this up on the show before, but like I like to take movies and be like, okay, if I was going to make it better, here's how I would write it. And usually most movies I can like do that to at least my satisfaction. I can't do that with The Lone Ranger.
I think what Jimmy's getting at is that with certain bad movies, you can take out certain things and put, rearrange things a little bit.
Yeah.
With Lone Ranger, you have to go scorched earth and just start all over. That's how bad it is.
Yeah, you got to throw out the whole movie and start from scratch.
Yeah. Woof.
Oh, buddy. So those were the two movies I watched from Netflix. Like I said, I was surprised that they weren't as bad as people were rating them or making them out to be. They were. Yeah. I expected them to be completely unwatchable and just absolute garbage, but they were just okay, which is just okay sometimes.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's passable.
It's all right.
But, I mean, like, if you're spending tens of millions, even hundreds of millions of dollars on a project and it's just all right, I mean, that's insulting. For me, especially with like Netflix and stuff, because they take money away from other projects and you know, like the Dark Crystal, and they give it to these bad, you know, that I mean, I would rather have another season of the Dark Crystal than another all right movie.
Yeah.
You know, I think for me that's insulting. Like if it's bad, like if it's like unbearable, like Fresh Meat, I can get behind that because I can learn from that experience.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's just all right, there's just that's more insulting. Like they obviously had something and they decided to go with the safer options.
Yeah.
At least with Fresh Meat, they tried, they failed.
They failed hard.
But like with these neutral movies, they didn't try, they didn't fail because they didn't risk anything.
No. Gotta risk it to get the biscuit.
Risk it to get the biscuit.
So, what I got a couple other movies here that for like demonstration purposes.
Absolutely. Do it before I do my last one.
All right, what did I do? Okay, so there's Thor: The Dark World, and that was going to be neutral evil, because like it's a Marvel movie which has a certain standard of production and quality no matter what.
It's got Chris Hemsworth in it.
It's got Chris Hemsworth in it,
and
but
Loki.
It's just like if it didn't exist within the Marvel universe, no one would give a shit.
Straight up, if it just didn't exist in the Marvel universe, nothing would have changed.
Yeah, and it's forgettable and just bad. Like no one. It's so that's why it ends up. You know, it's almost more shameful to be a neutral movie than a bad movie.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Just a neutral. I remember Fresh Meat because it was bad. I remember Thor because it's Thor.
It's mediocre.
It's mediocre. Medius of the Joker.
Yeah, and then for neutral good, by the way, I do not endorse ripping on Sherlock Holmes, but Sherlock Holmes: Game of Shadows, because it is a good movie. It's really well made, really well, acted, etc. Everything's great, but it's kind of on everyone's it's below everyone's radar besides a Sherlock Holmes super fan like myself.
Besides you, no one else is a fan of this movie. It's not on anybody's top 10 lists. It's not a mystery movie, it's an adventure movie.
I know.
They're not even solving murders. What frickin' Sherlock Holmes does.
I know. That's why I'm enjoying the fact that there's a Knives Out universe in the pipeline, because they're actually going to bring back, and with Poirot, with Death on the Nile, they're bringing back the cozy mystery. That's it's.
I am looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I would like to see Robert Downey Jr. meet up with Poirot at some point, and they just hate the shit out of each other.
Yep. I read tons and tons of Sherlock Holmes pastiche where they it's basically when fanfic gets published, basically. And every once in a while, I do come across a story where Poirot is either mentioned or they meet and stuff. I'm like, nice.
I do not associate with French detectives. I'm Belgian, sir.
Yeah.
I would love to see that. Oh, David Suchet as Poirot.
Something about those freaking Granada, British series produced the best. Even if it was just one role, like Jeremy Brett as Sherlock Holmes, David Suchet as Poirot, they embodied those characters so well that I don't think I've ever seen anyone.
Midsummer Murders.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's that's the type of stuff that was on in our house when we were growing up.
Yeah, we were, for reference, on Sundays was family days, so we couldn't watch TV all day, except at night when we got to watch Sunday Mysteries on PBS.
Yeah, and honestly, there wasn't anything on Sundays anyway, so but it was good.
Yeah.
It was good. Yeah. I highly recommend all of that stuff.
Yeah, I have Acorn on through Amazon. Mm-hmm. That's where all those mysteries are.
So so if you're looking for a good streaming experience that's not Netflix, check that out.
Yeah, and it's a lot of good stuff. But I have my bad movie.
Okay, all right, let's hear it. What is it? Hit us with it.
It's gonna blow your mind. I watched He's All That.
He's All That. Oh, I didn't get a picture for that one. All right, what's the alignment for that one?
I don't even know. Honestly, I don't know. This movie defies my categorization. It's so like bad. It's nebulous, but it's not bad for the right reasons. I don't. Okay, I have to get into it. I have to talk about it. I was in Vietnam. I have to talk about my experiences. I lost my legs, and now I was born on 4th of July. That's from Born on 4th of July. That's exactly what the movie was. It's dialogue from the movie.
Seriously?
No, I made that up. I made that shit up.
We're talking about bad movies. You can't pull that shit on me. I'm going to be Googling 4th of July.
Born on 4th of July.
Born on 4th of July.
You're just Googling 4th of July. There's nothing here.
There's nothing here about no legs.
George Washington ain't got no legs.
4th of July, George Washington, no legs, question mark.
Question mark. Safe search off. So basically, this was the most recent one. It's the remake of She's All That. It's actually the same director as She's All That. Came back for it.
I keep saying that movie like I'm supposed to know what it is.
It's a staple of rom-com comedies. Basically, the premise of She's All That is the popular guy is given a bet to take the dopiest girl in high school, turn her into prom queen, basically.
That seems super problematic in 2021.
It really is. So basically, it's the whole thing is, girl has glasses on, take them off. Whoa! No girl can be attractive without 20/20 sight.
It's not attracted to my hunter-gatherer mentality. You need to be able to judge the distance to your prey.
Yeah, it's pretty problematic, but it's like a staple of rom-com comedy. So they brought in some of the cast back and a few other people that worked on like a couple of other stuff. So it had some clout to it. It actually had some potential, and of course the big draw for this movie was TikTok famous Addison Rae was going to be in the lead.
What's she famous for?
I don't mean to throw shade, but I'm gonna tell it as it is.
Okay.
Doing softcore porn on TikTok.
Moving on.
I mean, not Addison Rae. She seems like a really nice girl, but that's what she's famous for.
That's just what her content is.
That's literally what her content is. I mean, she's famous. She's successful. Good for her.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's what it is.
I mean, she's using the platform to the best of her abilities, and
Absolutely.
she's profiting from it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So that was like the big person that was in the movie, and that's also what got a lot of hate because it's a TikTok girl. She does not.
Does she sing?
She sings in the movie, but I don't know if she sings
Okay.
like professionally.
Right.
I don't think so. I think you're thinking of one of the. Why do I know this? One of the D'Amelio girls.
Right.
She's a singer. I don't know if Addison Rae's is like a really good famous dancer. Like she's like that's her thing. Like she's almost like a professional dancer.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's in the movie. People, she was bad,
mm-hmm.
but she's not an actress. So
right.
I wasn't mad at that. So the premise is basically the same from the original movie. Addison Rae is a popular girl. She's got to take the dumpiest, loser guy in high school, turn him into prom king, blah, blah, blah. But the twist is that I actually liked is that she's playing like a high school influencer, like a social media influencer.
Aha, very meta.
So that was really meta. I like that. And the thing is, when she was doing her influencer stuff on Instagram and stuff for the movie, it was very believable because that's what she does, and that was really, really cool. I like that, and it's kind of like a people chasing after stuff. And the inciting incident is she goes to her boyfriend's music video thing, and he's cheating on her, obviously. But the thing is, I saw
influencer problems.
Influencer problems. But as soon as we got a shot of her boyfriend, I was like, this dude's 50.
Seriously?
This dude is straight up a 40-year-old dude, and he's in high school.
All right, let's get again.
Yeah, get a good look at it.
What's it called again?
He's All That.
He's All That.
Yeah, so that was weird. Is it Taylor? Is that his name? Taylor. Penton Matt Meyer.
Peyton.
Yeah, that's him. He's 24, but in the movie he looks like he's right there. Click on that.
That one?
Yeah. If you look at like what he
Yeah, no way. He
straight up like it's a makeup thing or like he looks like he's a
now he's they dress him up. He looks like he's kind of like a Kevin Federline meets Jake Paul or something.
yeah,
basically.
but like with like he does not look like he's in high school. He looks like he's 40.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, and he's 22, so it makes they're way overshooting on this one.
yeah, and like that was another thing I had an issue with. Addison Rae, she has a very cute face. She has a kind of a baby face. She's very attractive, but she does not look like she's in high school. She looks like she's at least college aged. So I kind of had an issue with that. The male lead, he's from who's his name?
He's the dude from Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai.
He's Robbie from Cobra Kai.
Tanner Buchanan. I like him. I thought he was really good in it. I thought he's really good in general.
Matthew Lillard was in it.
Yeah, just like cameo. And a Kardashian was in it. It was kind of all over the place, honestly. It was really weird. They didn't really lean into like the whole, they kind of did, but like very superficially leaning into like the influencer thing and how it's bad.
Right.
Because when they introduced her boyfriend, I was like, oh, okay, he's like 40 and he's like grooming this girl. That's going to be an interesting facet of this. Like, oh, she's like talking to and dating this much older person, but it's quote acceptable because she's like, an influencer.
Right.
And I thought that's what they're going to lean into. No, this 40-year-old looking dude is 16.
No, everyone on set was like, "You look 20, Peyton.
Yeah.
You look 17, Peyton. Whatever it is." Yeah.
And like the girl he's like cheating on his girlfriend with, they end up dating later in the movie, and like, but she's a professional dancer from like the music video, so it's like she has to be at least like 24 or 26 or something.
Yeah, like they're not hiring like 16-year-old dancers.
Yeah, so like this obviously overage woman is dating this high school age.
It's like a Russian nesting doll of grooming in this movie.
Yeah, so it's really weird. I think everyone did it's kind of like what you said. It's not great, but it's not the worst movie I've ever seen. I wasn't like overly insulted by it. Addison Rae does her best. Again, she's not an actress, but she does a good job with the role in the script that they give her. There's not like a ton she can do.
Does Robbie do karate?
No, he doesn't. But that dude is ripped. Like he takes off his shirt in one scene, and you're like, yeah, this dude's not 16.
No,
this dude is like 22, pushing 25 at least. They really have to like work on like getting actors that are not 30.
Yeah, but like you say, like 16, generally like the younger actors, they're not quite there as far as the acting chops.
Yeah, I mean, look at the first Harry Potter movie.
Yeah. Someone pointed that out. I wish I could give a shout out to this person. Yeah, but they were like, they were pointing at like the Shrieking Shack scene.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, and this movie was basically where they, the kid actors had to step up their game, and they weren't quite there yet, and then they ended up in the Shrieking Shack scene.
Say that 10 times fast.
The Shrieking Shack scene, and they've got Alan Rickman and the guy, Gary Oldman, and the guy.
Freaking Gary Oldman.
Yeah, there's like 4 freaking Tony Award-winning actors in the same room.
There's enough Golden Globes in that room to genuinely kill everybody.
Yeah, a single battleship. Like so they're like, that's why the scene seems so stilted, because these guys are like the top professional actors of the generation.
Yeah.
With the kids who are, they're they're good actors for where they're at, but they're just not quite there yet.
Yeah, it's like Millie Bobby Brown is like the gold standard for like child acting, but she's like the reason why she's so good is she's like the one that stands out.
Yeah.
A lot kid actors can't compete with adults. They need to hone their skills and stuff. They're very rarely that good instantaneously. And Addison Rae, again, she does the best with what she can do. I thought she was really good in the scenes where she was like being an influencer.
Yeah.
She, seeing that side was really interesting of how much like she has to put into it, and then it was like really interesting too because like her room is like the stereotypical teen girl room. It's all like really nice and everything, and then she exits her room, and her house is like small and regular.
Yeah.
Like she lives in a regular home, and I thought that the movie was going to go kind of a little bit different direction. They just didn't do enough with it.
Fair.
You know. Again, we're not shitting on the cast of this. Everyone's doing the best they can. It just doesn't always come together correctly.
Right.
You know.
So, what's the lesson here? Because we were like talking about the worst of Netflix, but these movies aren't like apart from freaking The Kissing Booth. These movies aren't 100% terrible.
Yeah. Well, like I said, with He's All That, they brought a lot of the original cast, the original director, some of the original screenplays, writers, and a lot of like talent, and they're trying to remake the same movie that, like you said, can't really work now to a modern audience, and they didn't do it correctly. They're trying to recatch lightning in a bottle, and She's All That is only good because of the nostalgia. And kids today don't really want to see a movie about a guy or a girl getting tricked and being groomed into something that they're not.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Our social consciousness has grown far too much for that.
Yeah.
So I guess Netflix. So a couple of things. First of all, someone else I've heard this brought up before that the movie industry, like the ones that actually release in theaters and whatnot, recently there's been kind of a loss of that middle ground of films. So like it's either gonna, like this person pointed out, that it's either huge big blockbusters like Marvel movies or a lot more indie art house lower budget films like say Green Knight or
The Last Duel. I'm gonna see in theaters. There's no way in hell I'm not gonna see Adam Driver on the big screens. I saw those pecs up close and personal.
He's that brooding mountain. So
crush me with my larynx, you mountainous man.
So
Kylo ripped me in half.
What was my point? So my point was that I think that Netflix has really taken over this, like that sort of middle section of movies where it's like it's somewhat lower, like the rom-coms, the buddy movies, that kind of stuff.
Right, but this at the same time, I do agree with you, but I disagree at the point where they do put out these really like art housey kind of movies and even larger action movies as well, and they're critically successful.
Yeah,
but there's no box office.
Right.
So like we always go back to this, and I can't stop going back to this. The Dark Crystal. It was a
crime against Thor for them to not make a second season for that.
Yeah, exactly. It was beyond what they could have done, because it was too expensive and you can't sell tickets to it, and there are no commercials on Netflix, so They can't generate revenue off of that. Hulu has ads, but they also have. I have the subscription where I go past the ads, so I don't have it, so I don't have to deal with that. So I guess there has to be a middle ground, but if Netflix puts in ads, there will be a mass exodus, the likes of which we've never seen before.
I think that what Netflix tends to bank on with these higher budget productions is the return from merchandising, because they seem to have merchandised Dark Crystal a lot more than their other Netflix films, because they had tons of Funko Pops, they had artwork stuff, they had like figurines and stuff that they were selling, but it didn't seem like they were flying off the shelves.
But so an interesting fact to that, so like Disney is very good at merchandising because they own a lot of the merchandising and marketing companies as well.
Right.
So they have more of a direct stake. Netflix has to go through many subsidiaries. So when Funko Pop sells a Funko Pop, they get a very small percentage of that. Funko Pop is not exactly getting getting the best deal out of this. Whereas Disney is so big, you put a Disney label on anything and it'll sell. Fucking Frozen was one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
They're still selling Cars, freaking merchandise.
Yeah, they're still selling Cars merchandise. I mean,
it's been an eon since the last Cars movie came out.
Yeah, I mean, and there's so much nostalgia attached to that. But Netflix they don't even win Academy Awards.
Right.
Because they're a streaming service.
Right, yeah.
They're not going to win shit. And so, there's that. I'm really interested to see because we're on the subject of streaming and losing important shows. For those who lost. Star Wars Visions is looking to be one of the best animated series ever put to screen.
Could they possibly make it look less rad? I mean, god damn it.
God damn. I mean, people are making fun of like the lightsaber umbrella. I'm just like, I don't care.
Even
I want to see that.
Even like the dumb cutesy cute looking anime episodes that you can definitely see are going to happen. Like the quality looks pretty goddamn amazing. Studio Ghibli stuff is like super cutesy cute and mainstream, but the
animation is so smooth.
The animation is so smooth. Yeah, so I'm excited to watch that one.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is we're gonna have a Legend of Korra. First season, banger. Best, really good animation. Second season, downgrade.
Second season,
they've run out of money.
Second, well, then it also might be like, all right, we're not certain that our audience is gonna like this because there's a girl, but we're
what?
But so we're just gonna.
I can only watch things that have penises.
So
that's it.
So we're gonna
acknowledge the fact that I can only do that.
So they're
look at me. I can only watch characters.
I'm looking at the audience.
Okay.
I'm maintaining direct eye contact with the audience. So they're gonna be like, oh, we're only gonna really fund and like greenlight one season, maybe two. So make sure you guys wrap those up just in case.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, Legend of Korra, I think, is one of the best animated series as far as I don't care what you think about Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I do.
Korra has the best character development and character interactions.
Yes.
Without a doubt, without hands doubt. And Korra goes through some genuine growth.
It was aging with the audience. When Avatar: The Last Airbender was on TV, we were kids. We were like 12, 13 years old.
Mm-hmm.
When Korra was on, we were like teenagers, and we were starting to get like more woken up to like there's more complex. The world is much more complex than we ever imagined. And so it was, introducing those aspects to us.
Rated R version of Avatar.
Apparently, the Kyoshi book is that.
Oh, just straight up freaking Kyoshi decapitating dudes.
I think shit like that happens. You know what? Let's give it a look.
But I am interested to see how this works. If Star Wars Visions is exactly what it looks like, I don't think I can go back to normal animation. I think I'll be spoiled.
This is people on Reddit because it's good. It's going to be good. It's Mr. B Kane XTR says it is the most explicitly violent and arguably darkest story content in Avatar, but I wouldn't go so far as feels like another universe. Blah blah blah. Like most of the violence is off screen in Last Airbender. The novel can get away with such violence because it's simply described. So so it just in general doesn't shy away from mentioning that people are dying and suffering because of war. Geez, yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, they kind of did that a little bit in Avatar: The Last Airbender, but it's more heavily implied, and you don't really see it.
God, freaking his master's skeleton surrounded by fire soldiers.
I saw somebody point out that those are fire soldiers enhanced by Sozin's Comet, and his freaking tutor just bodies
he murked those guys.
Murked them. Just so... Oh, I will say this. So bad, their friends didn't get their bodies, and they just left. So everyone's like, the air nomads got genocide. No, they said, fuck around, find out.
Oh, God. Yeah, you do not mess around with those.
Did you ever think why the Fire Nation hadn't advanced in like 100 years? Their army got bodied during the Nomad invasion, and then that was it.
Yeah, you don't mess around with Monkey Atso. He will body you.
Yeah, Avatar Aang got nothing. Avatar Aang is taking the side of pacifism and most resistance but best way, and his mentor is just like, let's find out.
Oh, you guys fucked around.
Fucker's gonna die.
Let's find out. God damn, you're right.
Just like bodying people, going, "Wind got knocked out of you, bitch," and then goes on to the next one.
Oh God, we gotta do a fan film on that.
I would like actually, yeah. So like my headcanon is the air nomads are kind of like rewrote history because before Avatar Aang actually was born, they were a very, warlike people, and he was what was his name?
Monkey Yatso.
Monkey Yatso was one of the best, and basically bodied people all the time because people were like picking and trying to invade the air nomads because they thought they were peaceful and pacifist, and so they got kind of aggressive, and then only recently became pacifistic.
Monkey Yatso's warlord past. Yeah, let's get a spin-off series based on that.
Because think about it, they can go literally anywhere.
Your audience is in their 20s now, people. You can hit us with that more adult, darker content. We understand the world.
I could do that. I could see Monkey Yatso getting war crimes on his hands and then trying to better the world through Aang.
Yeah.
To make up for his past sins.
He repented, became a monk, and is trying to become a better person.
And then actually starts getting distraught because Aang is gone, he's disappeared, and then they lose word from the Eastern.
That would make sense because like the monks, even if the Fire Nation showed up at their doorstep and was like, destroying their stuff, they wouldn't do anything. They're monks, they're pacifists, but like someone who's got a past of, sending people to the clouds is gonna, throw hands. Yeah.
Yeah. And absolutely. Yeah. And it's kind of, and yeah. All we could just do is say, yeah, do that. Nickelodeon, rated R. Don't make it live action. Make it animated and just get like all of the who's who from anime just in on this.
Let's tie this into our theme. Netflix, we know you can do better. We know that you're making that Avatar Netflix series, and we all know it's trash, garbage.
We know what you're
Scrap that shit. Make a super dark Monkey Yatso origin story. We will go fund you if need be.
Oh, and every single season is titled something different. Like it's Warrior Gyatso, General Gyatso, Warlord Gyatso, and then his final arc to Monk, as he gets humbled by the avatars.
Right. Is Netflix still doing a live action?
With COVID, I don't know if it got pushed back or not.
It revealed its cast in August, but that's about it.
Yeah.
But I remember also the preliminary outline script got leaked.
Yeah.
They're like in modern times and stuff. So we were worried that they were gonna pull an M. Night Shyamalan on us.
Cyberpunk.
Like not even that. Like we were they were gonna pull an M. Night Shyamalan on us, but they were pulling a Dragon Ball Evolution on us.
Ooh.
Yeah. It was that bad. Okay.
It's like I want a BB gun for Christmas. Ooh.
Yeah. So why don't we wrap this up? We're starting to get up on time here. So what's up? I'm going to say, what's our lesson, Netflix? Either start making your movies way better or way worse.
Or just lean into it.
Yeah.
Lean into it. But you have to have some quality content on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would suggest buying Area Nerdy 1, and we'll write a show for you.
What? No, we have integrity.
Yeah.
But if you guys wanted to send us just a number, like an estimate, just ballparking it, I'd open that. Yeah.
$20.
20
is our lowest offer.
$20, and I want an extra week of vacation in the summer.
Can we get water for breaks?
Yeah, we've been using tap. We have to get tap water just driving by as we're coming back from the bathroom.
There's a pipe over my room that gets moist sometimes, and sometimes I'll get moss and dab it and then put it on my tongue. That's how I get water.
We are very underfunded.
Yes. Surprisingly, Jared Blisney got a raise because he's doing such a good job.
His new streaming service
is doing great.
Blisney Minus is doing amazing. I think it's mostly just people clicking on the wrong link, mistyping it into Google.
It's just a live feed of Jared Blisney just at his office. A close up to his camera. What is this? What are you doing?
And we're going through the Rolodex. President Taft, I haven't talked to him in years.
Somebody get me up the phone box. I have to bring in a physical phone booth. Taft, how are you, my man?
Gotta see what the situation down in Venezuela is. Want those bananas to flow? The bananas must flow.
There's blood on these hands for that potassium.
Okay, now we're getting into the history of the show.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Do you have any? All right, so to wrap things up, I saw True Memoirs of an International Assassin and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Sword of Destiny. They were both just okay. Wouldn't recommend them unless you have like literally nothing else to do. Sword of Destiny is good if you're a Kung Fu fan, but that's it.
I saw Kissing Booth 3 and He's All That. They were bad movies, but not bad in the way you expect them. Kissing Booth 3 is, if you've seen the first two, you're not going to be surprised. It's a bad movie. He's All That is not the train wreck everyone put it out to be. It's definitely a learning experience for filmmakers and new actors and actresses, but it's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah. So, honestly, I thought I was going to have to sit through like a torturous experience, but
we didn't have to sit through Amazon Cinderella.
Yeah, Netflix's biggest problem right now is that they're just mediocre.
Yeah, which is a different kind of problem. It depends on what you personally think. If a bad movie is bad and you hate it, I guess. But if you hate mediocre movies more, then I guess.
Yeah.
It's very difficult because it's all subjective. Yeah. There are going to be people that love these movies and will put them on their top 10 favorite lists. But for us, it's very hard to categorize because we try to look in the positive in a lot of movies, and unfortunately, some bad movies are just bad.
Yeah. Fresh meat. Don't watch it.
Don't watch it. It's not even like good. It's so bad. It's good. It's horrendous.
I wasted my life watching that movie. Do not watch it. I seriously still cannot look at Boba Fett the same way ever again. So
yeah.
All right. Why don't we wrap this up? Any parting thoughts there, Jarrett?
Yeah. Streaming services. You need to do better at the jobs we pay you to do.
That's right. We're just like paying them.
Yeah, we pay them. It's like a monthly. It's a tax.
Yeah.
A tax on entertainment that you fail at.
All right. Here are my demands. A season 2 of Dark Crystal.
Same budget.
Same budget.
Same budget. Don't use less shit.
In fact, give them a raise. And I want you to revive, reboot, give it a 3rd season to Marco Polo. I know it's been 12 years since it came out. I don't care. Make it happen.
6 seasons in a movie.
6 seasons in a movie.
But for Area Nerdy 1, this has been Jarrett.
This has been Jimmy.
And Matt says hello from the Ant Kingdom.
We're going to delete all that, right?